And hello to all my Aries friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for December 2021. So we're going to wrap up this year here. Today they dialed up for you a Celtic cross spread. It is a very large spread. Starts with 10 cards. I expanded out with Oracle Angel cards a little bit. It gives us more information on it. It's one of the few spreads that I do that is not a bunch of tarot cards. It's really just the base 10, and the Oracle Angel cards is what gives us the extra oomph there. And talking about extra oomph, they've asked that I conclude your reading with an Oracle Angel card Divination spread. That's 2 extra cards that they want in addition to those. So we're giving you a lot of angel help here for the month of December. It's going to be interesting to see what they got in store for you. I'm going to wait no further. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time. What I'm going to do now is bring you in so you can watch. Go ahead and hit the like button and build up the energy in here. There we go. What I'm doing now, I like to do on camera. They are my ritual cuts. It basically cuts the deck into 3 different pieces, puts it back together in a separate order, and then it's ready to run. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Moves them around a little bit so you get to see everything fresh and live, and we're ready to go. So this is the Aries December Celtic cross. This is you and all that you are. This is what crosses you. This is what's behind you, the recent past. This is what's in front of you, the near future. This is what's above you, something you're aware of. This is what's below you, something that you're not. So there's our main group. There's our main cross for Aries. Now I'm going to do running up the side here with 7, 8, 9, and I'm going to bend 10 in just here so you can see it. I think you can see it. There we go. 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's how we're going to wrap the spread up. So what I'm looking at now are inverts. See how many blockages we have, and quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so about even distribution. I'm going to leave that the way it is. It's good to go. I'm just going to tack on a couple of the Oracle Angel cards for major themes. Let's see how many we got there. Looks like just 1. So we're going to start there. That's going to be a big one. And let's get to work, Aries. We're ready. Let's do it. We also have extra angel help at the end, so that'll get us through. I'm going to reorganize this just a little bit, give myself some space and some room, see it more clear. Okay, Aries, the very first thing they start with, interestingly enough, it was the same thing for Leo. So the fire signs are starting kind of off the same in December. Very interesting. Any Leos that you're attached to, very, very congruent vibration and frequency also going on. Just something to keep in mind. All right, so the exact same card that Leo got to begin with. It's the 8 of Cups. It's inverted. It's a hesitancy to move on from something. It's really kind of in it to win it vibe. Hopefully it's something good that you're sticking with and in it to win it. Obviously, if it's something that's toxic and not good for you, it's something that you need to move past, look behind, and not look back on. But if it's a healthy thing and it's a good thing, it's good to fight for, what is good for you and what's good for what you want. Good things to do there. So that's the energy of where we start. Very in it to win it, digging in, not moving on from something. That's what they show. The message right behind that is getting over either a sickness, or even this could be mental, because it is the 9 of Swords. It's Swords is very mental, cerebral suit. So this could be getting over an actual sickness, because that does come up that's the card that they use to talk about, like, bacterial infection, virus infection, any stuff like that, common cold, whatever. So some of you getting over that in December. Maybe you've been sick in the end of November or even early December. But they show you on the recoup from that. And for some of you, this is more mental. This is not a physical sickness like I just talked about. This is more in your head, or illusionary, or just kind of like you've been in a mental fog, perhaps. Been in a place where things are just not making sense right now, and kind of you're a little not sure about the direction of things. But they show that this energy is it's being subdued right now by, I guess, your free will, by your choices and so forth. So it's good to see. It's much better to see that you're going out of sickness rather than going into sickness. So that's the very first thing that they show. Now, Aries, as we move into the back position here, I have really nurturing money. I don't know if that means making a lot of money recently or just kind of like saving it up, but nurturing kind of motherly vibe here with money is coming up. Yeah, this is usually not a person here. This is the energy of the card. It's the Queen of Pentacles. It's the energy of nurturing money. Pentacles are money, and Queen is the nurturer, the mother, so very, I guess moving, it's a theme though. It's a major theme because it's pulling energetically into your December. So even though you may have been doing what I'm describing in October, November, even possibly before that, they're bringing it up because at some point, well, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. I need to read the next card, but at some point this is going to break where you don't need to be as kind of guardian over your money in your financial corner the way that you perhaps have been. Let's go into the future position. Okay, here's why. Talking about a lot of money stuff right now. For some of you, they're letting me know that this is Aries health too. This is maybe a smaller percentile of you that they're talking about health for, but that message that I just gave you with the Queen, you might want to back up a minute or two, a minute and a half, something like that, and listen to that again in the context that it could be health and not financial. Because over here they're saying, I have health or financial message coming in later in December. This is going to be huge. This is going to be late in December. This could even be popping in the new year. So they want you to pay attention to it, to be ready for it. That way you don't miss it, is basically it. So it's not right now. It's coming in blocked for that reason, so it is at a later date. But it's a very important either health marker or financial marker, and they don't want you to miss it. Very important. As we move into the above position, this is something you're very aware of. They're showing you getting over being extremely tied down, so you're kind of starting to blossom, you're starting to bloom. It's a lot more freedom, it's a lot more mobility. So for some of you, you may have gotten out of a relationship or just maybe having more freedom within the relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be a love message either. You could just be getting more freedom at work, more just freedom to less responsibility, or just, maybe you got some extra help coming on or something like that. But anyway, you're getting less restricted here. That's what they show. Very good things to see, Aries. It's really now what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that freedom, that newfound freedom? As we get into the bottom position, this is something that you are not aware of. Always a very interesting one to me, because the bottom position, being something you're not aware of, that's really what they want to tell you. They want you to become aware of this. In this case, it's the Ace of Swords, so this is a new idea. They want you to really start paying attention to a new idea or working on something new as far as... in this deck specifically, this is why I use so many tarot decks, because the energy and the frequency and the vibes of the cards, even the same exact card, differs between the decks. And this is a perfect example of that. So I'm going to show you this card so you can see what I'm talking about here. In this card, in the Ace of Swords, they show this is representing a new idea, but also hanging on to old ideas, as you can see she's doing with the unicorn here. And this unicorn is, not really, he's not magical. He's kind of old, been there. He's war torn. He's got arrows all over him. So this is really just not it for you. They want you to start thinking of new ideas. Purging from old ideas also comes up. It doesn't show that that's like a huge thing for you, but you don't want to hang on to old ideas or old things for too long past the point of their prime, especially if it's not good for you. That kind of goes back to the very first card that we started with. So I want to give you that visual aid on the screen there so you can see what I'm seeing. Because in this deck, like I said, that's a very specific Ace of Swords. So, yeah, I guess that's it. That's really the main thing there. Just make sure that you are, not hanging on to old ideas for too long past the point of their prime, and start working on some new ideas. Always a good thing to do to evaluate new things for your future, to set goals and all that kind of stuff. Also, while we're talking about goals, they want me to kind of push that a little more. They're telling me to tell you to set smaller goals. Don't make your goals so hugely large that they're not attainable. You're better off, Aries, is what they're telling me. You're better off setting small goals. That way you can just set it and then get it, achieve it. And then once you achieve that, set another small goal, then achieve that. Whereas if you set a huge goal, you might not get there, or you might not get there as fast as you want to, or something like that, and you might burn yourself out or get discouraged. They're saying that Aries like to see the results. So that way you can do that by setting smaller goals. So very good there. Let's get into running up the sides. Before I do that, I do want to talk about your moon cycles, because your moon cycles are going to be attached to this main core group quite a bit. They always do, and I like to give you a moon cycle forecast every single month, just to let you guys know what's coming. We have the new moon on December the 4th. That's the perfect time to bring anything new into your life, whether it's attracting love, or whether it's a new job or new health, whatever new that you're trying to manifest into your life. Much better placed at the very beginning of the month, also at the very end of the month, right before the new year. Same energy there. We have the full moon. That's the adverse energy there. That comes in on December 18th. That's the perfect time to get anything out of your life. So if we go back to the very beginning, of the spread, and they're talking about, something that you need to get rid of. Like, let's say that this really has to go. The middle of the month is a perfect opportune time to do that, to get it to stick, or to address what this is. Really, it's very empowering to get something out of your life, to do that right around the middle of the month. It doesn't have to be on the 18th, just anywhere around the middle. Just not too early in the month and not too late, because that's new moon energy. Very different there. So as we continue here, we go into spot number 7. 7 is the advice column. The advice I want to say right now is that it's not really a time to be offensive. It's a time to kind of draw a line in the sand, be a little defensive, really kind of hold your ground too. So it's not really a time to take charge, to go after things. I have a lot of kind of like hurry up and wait energy here. It's not really like go after it right now. December is a month for other things for my Aries. That's what they show. So that's the main advice besides everything else we've talked about. I guess the whole thing is really advice, but this is the advice slot in the Celtic cross. So that's what they talk about there. Really a time to be defensive and guarded too. Don't let anybody push you around for sure. Know your worth, all those things. As we move into external influences, this is the area that's right around you. Some of you are dealing with a very strong person here. I have the Emperor card. For others of you, they really just want you to take charge here. They really want you to control your environment. Perhaps some of you may not have been. They actually do show that you're doing a pretty good job of it. It's not coming in blocked like I would expect it to if this is a real problem. So it's not. It's just saying that, make sure you have your control. And that goes back to the previous card too, where they said to, know your worth and hold the line in the sand and all that stuff. So there may be something going on at home, which is like a power struggle of some form. But interestingly enough, I'm not worried about it. They show Treasure Island as the Oracle card. So this is very rewarding influence that's right around you. So I don't know if this is you're just surrounded by really good people, Aries, or a really great family, or what it is, but they're showing that this is like really it for you. This is the main your support. This is where you find your treasure. You find your treasure in your family, in your group of friends, all that close, all the close people close to your heart. That's what they show there for external influence. So actually very good once you take your power back, once you really move your position from a part of being like the boss. Number 9, moving up to number 9, which is hopes and fears. Some of you are really concerned about facing old challenges, learning lessons, lessons repeating, cyclical lessons, things coming back into your life. This could be people for some of you, but for others of you, this is just it could be habits coming back or something like that. Any kind of lessons that you learned in your life, kind of emulate here in the 10 of Wands. And they show in this position you're not actually moving forward with the lessons you've learned. You're kind of staying where you're at, which is a neutral spot. It's not bad. It's not like you're going backwards or anything like that. You're just kind of holding where you're at, which goes back to the 7 of Wands, what I talked about for advice, kind of holding your ground. That's what they show up here in hopes and fears. So some of you are a little afraid about moving forward with these lessons that you've learned. But, I got to go back to the moon cycles, and that middle of the month is a good time to deal with anything you got to get rid of, or foreclosures, all that kind of stuff presents itself really well in the middle of the month. Before I get into number 10, I do want to tell you about the newsletter program. I just did the biggest giveaway I've ever done. Everybody signed up for my newsletter, got a free reading. I do that once in a while. So make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program. It's free. It's at the very bottom of my website, scottsagent.com. Scroll to the bottom, enter your first name, last initial, email address, and then you're done. You're signed up. I send one email a month. It's just for updates. I send promo codes here and there, save you guys money on readings, all kinds of good stuff there. Also, good time to tell you this is a general reading. There's a lot of Aries joining us here. This is a big bubble energy. If you're looking for messages that are private, personal, specific only to you, I do offer private readings on my website, scottsagent.com. And quite a variety of different services I offer too, starting from very small price points all the way up to full service, whatever's best for you. And the best part is that they're all personal. None of them are that bubble energy that we're using now. It's all about you, every single service. So as we get into card number 10 for my Aries, this is how your month wraps up. They show in action here. So again, they're showing just the congruence of how this is just a kind of stand your ground, hold month for December. They don't want you to be making a whole lot of radical changes. Not really a time to be meeting new people either. Not a time to be making large purchases here. We had kind of the nurturing of the money that still carries over into December. Maybe this is going to break in January. We're going to see when we do that spread for you. I have a special January spread In addition to January, we're going to do a New Year spread too for the whole year. So very interesting things are going to pop up there, good advice. But as far as December goes, the way that you guys wrap up the year, they really want you to kind of slow play this a little bit. Don't make a lot of drastic moves here. Just kind of wait. This is December. A lot of things are kind of getting aligned and getting kind of put together for you in ways that you may see or you may not see, depending on where you're at and what they are, because there are so many Aries of you tuning in, and the energy is just so different. You know, you guys are all different. You're not the same. So finding the context of what they're trying to tell you in these messages is obviously a huge part of the entire thing. And let's get into your Oracle Angel card divination here. They wanted 2 of them here for you, so quite a bit of help. And that's a good thing. Let's see what they want. Okay, so a lot of you to begin with are, well, I'm going to read these together. This is a major theme. So this goes back to your hopes and fears. What I talked about, the cycle, the cyclical kind of reoccurrence. I have a round and round card here. Round and round. So this is just reaffirming that cycle. This is like the things that just repeat and keep repeating and keep popping back into your life. Like, okay, Aries, what are you going to do with it now? All right, Aries, what about now? What are you going to do with it now? That's what they show there. Not much to say about it, but they want you to be super aware of these cycles. So if it's a bad cycle for you, you got to end it. If it's a good cycle, it's okay. You know, do what you so choose. But notice that this is a cycle. And, you know, if you want to get outside of the cycle, you know what to do. The next thing I have here is regeneration. So that is like a brand new death, a brand new birth going on there. It's like getting rid of the old energetically. It's almost like the death card in tarot, except this is an oracle card. It's regeneration. So it's cellular level clean slate where nothing exists from the past, where it's brand new. It's like sprouting out. It's literally pictured as a plant sprouting out of lava. You know, lava's come through and just wiped everything clean. That's your clean slate. And now you're growing out of it. You're growing new. This is a new version of you, Aries. It's like, what are you going to make of this chapter? What are you going to do with it? So that's what they wanted to talk about here in your Angel Oracle cards. Very good thing to see there, because, you know, even it doesn't matter what you've been through, you can always grow out of it. That's what that card also means. You know, it's like learning from those lessons. We talked about that. They really want you to move forward and be in a very positive place for Aries. So we've been through it all. That's the entire reading, Aries. I do thank you so much for joining. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. And I'll see you guys all in January. Take care. Enjoy the holidays.